Hi and welcome to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I'm the Ginger Ninja and, you guessed it, I review movies. If you're a new viewer, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking out my channel. Hopefully you'll consider subscribing, and if you could, please do hit that notification bell and feel free to give this video a thumbs up and a like, it'd be much appreciated. My returning viewers, thank you very much for sticking with me as we go through the ABCs of horror. This week we're up to the letter U, so let's have a look at what we've got in store. Okay, and welcome back. So, as mentioned, looking at the letter U, and this week, Unfriended. This here is my Blu-ray copy, nothing really to it, there's no special features at all. It's just the movie, so let's get into it. So, Unfriended came out in 2014. It's directed by Levon Gabradze. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It stars Heather Sossamon, Matthew Bower, Courtney Halverson, and Shelley Hennig, and many more. I say many more, but there really isn't. There are 6 main actors in it. So, there you go. Now, we'll let you know plot specifics and spoilers will be discussed. So if you haven't seen this and you don't want to be spoiled, please turn off now, go check out the movie and come back. So, while video chatting one night, 6 high school friends receive a Skype message from a classmate who killed herself 1 year ago to that day. At first, I think it's a bit of a prank, someone pulling a fast one on them, but then things start happening. Secrets are revealed and they realize they're dealing with something very sinister and wants them dead. Okay, really interesting plot, pretty good, setup. And that's one thing I did really like about it. And coming off of the last 2 years with the pandemic, COVID-19, this kind of seemed relatable because they're in a Skype Teams meeting, Zoom, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think we've all had that where we've been in those meetings, and some of us are still going through that where we're in a virtual world. So very poignant and very relatable for most people, I think. And I did enjoy that. Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of ahead of its time in that regards, given that it came out in 2014. Another thing I liked about it were the digital glitches, which set the tone. This movie had a really creepy vibe to it, and I think that was, once again, something that's relevant and relatable to what we've been through. The digital glitches over the Universal logo at the start of the film did really set it up. So, really good setup for the movie. However, and look, maybe it's not my demographic, but to be honest, those characters were annoying. Weren't really likable, they weren't developed enough to care about them. You're watching it and you see them and you're just like, you don't care. They're, upper middle class, high class, I don't know what you would call it, but you just don't care for them. They've got very cookie cutter personalities, for a high school clique, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But you really don't care what happens. And I mean, it probably is hard to get the character development in the short runtime of the film. The film only goes for 83 minutes, so it is a very condensed film. And it is set just on one computer screen. So that would be quite hard to develop those characters, to get them to a point where you can actually identify with them and relate to them. So yeah, now the use of sound is another thing I wasn't a fan of in this film, because every time something scary happened, there would be a loud noise accompanying it. And yeah, like that may work in some films, but it didn't work in this. And that brings me to what I didn't enjoy about it. This is both. I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it. This film has one major jump scare, in my opinion, and that's right at the end. So they save the biggest jump scare right to the end, which is great, and it does kind of look good, and this is a major spoiler here, right at the end, you see someone's hands pushing the laptop lid down, and it's like a man's hands with a t-shirt on, kind of like what I'm doing now. And then the ghost appears straight to the screen. Great jump scare, but the fact that it was done with a dude's hands putting the laptop down. That didn't make sense, so it kind of takes you out of it. Look, it's not a scary film. It's a great idea, a decent production as well, but the poor characters and the lack of scares in it really take away from it. A little bit longer, a little bit more development for the characters would have been good to see. Overall, Unfriended, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. I almost gave it a 6.5, but I had to knock it down because that one jump scare at the end, like, come on, little bit of, yeah, didn't sit well with me. So there you have it, Unfriended. Check it out if you haven't. There is a sequel to it as well. I have not seen the sequel yet, but maybe I'll look at that in another video. So thank you very much for watching. Once again, do remember to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and we'll see you next week. Bye.